Well, welcome back to another episode of Fox Sports Live NRL. I'm Eloise Sohier, joined by Josh Morris. Josh, you're fresh off the plane back from Las Vegas, but we've got plenty of footy to get through. We've got another 6 games to focus on for round one. Are you looking to this season kicking off officially?
Yeah, I can't wait. Obviously, we got to go over to Vegas, and it was a whirlwind few days. Got home yesterday after about 30 hours of travelling, and we're back into it for round one now. So I can't wait. If anything, if the football was anything like it was for the first 2 games, we're in for a real treat.
Absolutely. For it starts off with the Knights taking on the Raiders. Rather, the Knights are $1.38, Raiders at $3.05. I mean, does it surprise you where the market's at the moment?
Yeah, it does. I mean, these two teams played in a finals game last year, and now we see that price. I guess it can be attributed to no Jack White in there in the halves. Ethan Strange will be starting on 5'8". A lot of weight on his young shoulders there. They've got young Hopewadi in the centres as well. But for the Knights, I guess the only player they're really missing is Dom Young from last year. So they've got that stability there. I think if you're Anari Tuala, I think you're very happy that you're slotting in on that left wing there and on the right wing. Sorry, he could be one of the leading try scorers this year if the Knights play the way they did towards the back end of that season. But yeah, I feel like the Knights are a real danger this year, and I think they should kick off the season with a win.
Yeah, they certainly went on a big roll at the back end of last season. Next up, we've got the Warriors taking on the Sharks. The Warriors are at home for this one. The Sharks travelling across to Auckland. The Warriors are $1.54, Sharks $2.46. Of course, it's the first time we'll see Roger Tuivasa-Sheck in action as well.
Yeah, I thought the betting would have been closer on this one as well. I guess it's just the Sharkies last year. They were always beating the teams that were below them, but they had struggles with those teams above them. So this is a really good test for the Sharkies first up. I like the battle in the halves, though. I like Metcalf and Johnson in the halves, and then you've got Nico Hines and Braden Trindle, who came off a man of the match performance in the All Stars there. So I really like that one. Yeah, Roger back. It's great to see him back in the side. They've got Tuapiki there at fullback, so it'll be interesting to see what they do there, whether Roger plays in the centres the whole game, or could we potentially see him float in at fullback at some stage throughout the match.
Something to look out for indeed. And next up, of course, is one of the big ones that everyone's got marked on their calendar is the Storm hosting last year's premiers. They're on a 3-peat. They're going for a 4-peat. Storm, $2.35, Penrith $1.59. We have to make mention of Craig Bellamy's record. He's never been beaten in a round one game.
That's it. Again, the betting there would suggest that Penrith are red hot favourites, but I mean, we don't back off don't write off the Storm in round one. Sorry, that record is ridiculous, and they're playing down in Melbourne. There's a lot of young faces in this Penrith side that haven't played much first grade. Luke Summerton's coming to the hooking role there, replacing Mitch Kenny. I actually think the Storm can get the job done here. I think that they'll be up, they'll be ready to take on the Panthers. Obviously, the Panthers had a disappointing World Club Challenge loss, but yeah, I just feel like there are a lot of fresh faces in this Penrith team, and going down to Melbourne's always hard. But you add that in with the round one factor of Bellamy, and I can see the Storm getting the job done here.
Well, that kicks off, I guess, our next segment is some of the few big upsets, players to watch for. Is that sort of the first big upset that you're going to predict for this round one for 2024?
Yeah, I've had that as my upset of the week. I think the Storm can beat the Panthers down there in Melbourne and keep Bellamy's record intact there. So that's my big upset of the round.
What player are you looking forward to seeing in action for this week?
Oh, look, I think it has to be Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Thank God he's come back to rugby league. He's seen the light. He loves the game. He's come back, and as I said, I'm wondering whether they use him in that fullback capacity. We saw them do that in the trials, and if the Warriors get down at any stage in the game, will we see Roger move to that fullback position and try and get them home and get the job done? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they use him throughout the game.
I want to get your thoughts just quickly as well, Josh. The Titans taking on the Dragons. It's the first time we'll see Des Hasler at the helm officially. Obviously, we've seen him in the trials. Is it sort of the unknown about how the Titans will play?
Yeah, it will be, because one thing I know about Des, having been coached by him, he does not give anything away in the trials. He knows that you don't get the 2 points in the trials, so he keeps all of his arsenal in his kit bag and doesn't like to show off too much. So I really like what the Titans are building there. I think they've got a great young squad. And, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go against the Dragons. 2 new coaches going head-to-head. So, but I just like the Desi factor in that one. I think we're going to see a very different Titans team, not just with the ball, but without the ball as well.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. Well, let's go through each of these 6 games across the weekend and get your tip. First up, Knights Raiders.
Yeah, I like the Knights in that one. I think that they'll be too strong for the Raiders.
Warriors Sharks.
Yeah, this was a tough one. This really was a flip of the coin, but I've gone the Warriors at home here.
Storm Penrith. You've already told us before earlier that you're tipping the Storm there at $2.35, so that's an upset.
Yeah, great value there.
Next one, Eels hosting the Bulldogs.
Yeah, this was another tough one. I always love the doggies, but I think off the back of the trial form, I think the Eels looked really good, and I'm tipping the Eels.
Titans and the Dragons.
Yeah, I've gone for the Titans here. I think the Desi factor will get them across the line, and we should see a much different Titans side.
And lastly, Dolphins taking on the Cowboys. Dolphins at $2.64. The Cowboys, $1.47.
Yeah, this is another one where you could probably go either way. If you remember back to last year, the Dolphins played against the Roosters, and no one tipped them at all, and they came out and put a lot of points on the Roosters. But I have gone the Cowboys, but if you are reminded of last year, well, then you can certainly put some money on the Dolphins as well, because they can be a chance.
Yeah, plenty of value in that one. Josh Morris, thanks always for your company, and we'll see you next week.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.